He surrounded us. And he's guarding us as a pupil of his eye. And he's caring for us. And he is achieving through us. And in the past, as Moses would remind the Israelites, there are mistakes that we have made. And we will continue highlighting those mistakes when they occur. But the plea is, can we, as we move forward, do away with what we know has not worked? Can we move with new energy? Hanging on the faithfulness of God which lasts from generation past generation. We learn as we listen. In Q2, what happened, and we learn from that and make Q3 of 2019 much better. In accordance to our theme, arise, let us do it. I think now the DG is ready. So watu wake wa mkono wakiendelea na kuset, you can be coming. Karibu sana.
Barizeni. I first apologize for being late, but sometimes, things happen. We come to that time again when we just take a back seat and look at what we have done to this day and what we have achieved in the Q2. We know that Q2 was a trying time for us because we had some issues, for example, with NHIF, and this led to a significant drop in patient, and thank God we managed to sort that out. And so it is always good when you can look back and see the challenges, how you overcame them, and the celebration. So I would like to start this session differently. Today, you guys are the ones who are going to give the speech. As you know, we have 4 core values, and each core value is, the assumption is that we have been practicing all the four values in a balanced way. Today, I want us to hear or to listen to each other's story. So I want us to pick a value, anyone, to pick a value, and then you say one of the most, I can say, memorable moments that relate to the value that do not apply to yourself, but you know that somebody exhibited that value in a manner that is so memorable that you want to talk about it. Who wants to go first? The first one is always the hardest. We will wait. I can assure you. No one? No, none of these values? No one has something to say about these values, about their colleague?
The last week we were going around with Isaac, and we went to an old machine, a washing machine, and as we were talking, he said that particular machine has been down, and they've been able to restore it with around 150,000, and if he was to get another one, that will cost around over 3 million. And so in that, I think the issue of sustainability, trying to save on cost to ensure that the 3 million can be used for something else rather than buying a new machine and repairing the old one that's now functioning, and also I think a dryer or something like that within the laundry.
Do you agree that that is something to its sustainability? Makofi kwake. Who can you pinpoint out as the person who lived that value?
Muriah.
It's Muriah.
Simon Muriah.
Muriah. Okay. Tell him to come for it. Any other value? 3 more values remaining. No one? I see Chris Vandera is conniving with.
This one here.
So on staff engagement, excuse me, on staff engagement, I have seen this core value coming up so in a so nice way in the division where I belong. I belong in 2 divisions, GME and division of clinical services. And I've seen us as staff being engaged in the decisions that are being made across these 2 divisions. So there are no decisions that have been made without us being involved. For example, talking from a perspective of a clinical officer, and Dr. Manda has been very keen to engage us and to see to it that we plug into what is happening currently in the hospital. So I'm happy that that is happening. Thank you.
Asante sana. Do you all agree that that is a value worth? It has been exhibited in a visible way. So who do you want me to give this? Man. 2 more remaining.
Good morning.
Morning. Yesterday morning, during rounds, we had one of our patients who needs to go to surgery today, and we discovered that she's not able to go because of a low blood level. And our junior colleague who was taking care of the patient just came to me and said, I think I'll donate 1 unit of blood for her. And he's the same one supposed to go to theater, but was offering to give 1 unit for the patient. I really think that was humbling, and it shows that he's very compassionate. He's Dr. Peter Ngumbi, I don't know whether he's here.
Accountability. I think now we can hear from the back bench. We've just been listening to. No one? Accountability.
So, good morning. I think in terms of accountability, I will acknowledge the Kijabe bus users. You know, we have such a kind of a WhatsApp called Kijabe bus users. Those who travel happen. There's one driver called Hayu. And the one thing I like of this driver called Hayu is when we pay through M-Pesa, the bus fare, he makes sure he checks each message on the WhatsApp. So in terms of accountability, he's accountable to his work. This is because the reason why I acknowledge him is because he does not want to have that 3 passengers in a bus and none of them are paid. So he makes sure each one on the bus has a message, and the original message, not a cooked message.
So, as you can see, the stories are alive amongst us, that I do not need to prepare speeches. We can actually collectively and spontaneously make the speech, because the strategic plan is a live document. It is something that we live every day. The core values, compassion is something that we donate blood on a daily basis. We give our hearts all out to our patients on a daily basis. Accountability, we live an accountable life every day. We say what we do, and we are ready to stand for what we do. And we are ready to be asked about what we do and how we do it. And most importantly, for accountability, when we fail, we acknowledge failure. That is an important aspect of accountability. So failure is not a sign of weakness, it is a sign of strength because it means that you are accountable. Staff engagement, friend. Staff engagement, again, is a value that we live on a daily basis. First of all, there's like horizontal staff engagement, how you engage with your colleagues, how you make them excited. You know, sometimes you can develop such a toxic culture that people don't even want to work in our teams because of that one person. And I hope we are not that one person. So staff engagement is not about what people are telling you from above. Staff engagement also is about horizontal relationship. I recently did a study which shows that actually 2 of the things that keep people in healthcare are good supervision and good relationships. Money did not come up. This is in public sector, this is in private sector, this is in even faith-based organizations, despite the numerous strikes that are about money. Sustainability, we've had a very good example that action that leads to not just saving in terms of financial cost, but it could even be an environmental sustainability. As a matter of fact, staff engagement is about staff sustainability. It's about making people excited to continue being part of the bigger group, continue seeing the bigger goal, so that they can last for longer. Otherwise, what will happen is that we could easily be like one of those listed companies in the stocks, which are so geared towards profit that we push you hard, you give us the profits, and then after 1 year, we just dip because people have burnt out. Next slide. And so these are some of I just wanted us to see some of the ordinariness of our activities and how they can be exemplary in translating to the core values. This is the I team receiving some, I think this is the laser equipment as a donation. And so thank you to the partners who have contributed to the affordability aspect in one of the strategic goals. But also thank you for the staff who continue to do such valuable work that people want to associate with them. Next. This is we call it, I don't know, it's called Salome's team or what. It has a name. I hear it's becoming a movement. It was once a cartel. It has evolved now to a movement. There's this group which, selfless, this is a group that had gone out to, I keep forgetting the names of this church, All Saints in Nairobi, to just continue the work of increasing visibility for Kijabe, ministry, and promoting the brand. And these people, this is, remember, a Sunday. Most of these people didn't need to be working. They didn't have to go for this event, but they chose to go for this event. So thanks to the dental team, to the ENT team, to the admin team, and to all the other people who contributed to this. Again, the ordinariness of the work that we do translates to some extraordinary results. Next. This is still part of the team. This is the dental team in the same place. Next. Now, again, to the education team, this was the research day. Very successful, many presenters. I think it's been highlighted in chapel and awards have been given, so I don't want to dwell on it. But again, this came out just as a result of people saying they want to see how much work we do within the hospital. And it was amazing. The number of wonderful presentations. Some of them have featured in global journals. And again, it is those small steps, the ordinary things that result into meaningful achievements. Next. We remember this. You know, the nurses, they don't know how to do things in a small way. They do it in a big way. This was the nursing day, or what do you call it? Nurses week. And yes, this is one manager feeding another. Next, the nurses, this was the culmination of the event in chapel. And you can see their, I don't know whether to call them their boss or their servant. They are leading that session. Very fruitful, very rewarding to just sit back and reflect on what has been happening. Again, very small things. You know, it's about changing the linen of the patient. It's about taking the vitals of the patients that results to such dramatic outcomes. So it is about the ordinariness of the work. We are not requesting for some extraordinary activity. We are requesting for just ordinariness. The ordinariness of our daily work is what results to tremendous outcomes. Next. This is when we were receiving a team from Baptist Memorial Hospital in Memphis. And again, this team, I mean, how much they talked about Kijabe, we were amazed. They met the leadership, the level 2 and level 1 managers, and they just talked about Kijabe. And we were standing there like, are they talking about us? Because it's like we don't even have insight about the amount of good work we are doing. And just to tell you that this hospital is one that has similar values to ours. It is a Christian hospital, and its 4 core values are right patient, right time, right place, right cause. If you look at what that means, it is exactly compassion is right patient, right time is those 4. So this is Naivasha, I think during the blood something day, you know. But again, just think about it. It is just a group of people sat down and said, we could have, this is the change we could result in from the things that we do. Nothing big, but the results, tremendous, extraordinary. Things that when we look back, we are like, wow, we managed to achieve that, and usually at no cost, but a lot of passion, a lot of drive, a lot of self-drive to move you to want to align to the 4 core values. Next. And then this is a culmination of our total effort, you know, our collective, ordinary activities that has led into us being acknowledged by various Kenyan organizations. This is a certificate of, we came first runners-up. You know, first runners-up is a subtle way of telling you you are second. You know, second sounds bad. So we were first runners-up. It still makes you feel like you are number 1, first runners-up. But we were first runners-up for the best faith-based hospital in Kenya. Surely backbenchers, you can clap. Again. Yes. So again, it is the total collective effort. It's the different components coming together so that somebody somewhere acknowledges that these guys, they are worth noting. They are doing something that is worth talking about. Now, am I saying number 2 is good enough? No. Let us aim for number 1. It means there is room to change. There is room for improvement, not room for change. Room for improvement so that we become the best faith-based hospital in Kenya. And not just faith-based. We want to, when you begin subcategorizing again, it is a way of giving too many awards. We want to be the best hospital in the region because that is what actually our strategic plan talks about, us being a leader in healthcare in sub-Saharan Africa or in the region. This is the spiritual team. Asanteni sana. Once again, you see we had a very tremendous, I can see the king of selfies there. And yes, this was a powerful week. And again, it is just the addition of our total collective effort that leads to these tremendous outcomes that when we look back, we are like, what did we do? And you realize that it is just the daily, just living diligently with discipline and the daily persistence of doing that activity that results to a tremendous outcome. Now, there are two things that are coming this quarter we want to talk about. So I would like to invite my first panelist, Professor Dr. Kamau, PhD. So, most of you may have heard about the HMIS, and the HMIS is this animal that has come to make not necessarily our lives better, but the lives of the patients and the total output of the hospital better. It has come to increase accountability. It has come through diligent record keeping and that are predictable, reliable, transferable, and everything. It has come to improve compassion through, when we keep hearing missing files, it means that we've added 3-4 hours to our patients. Now that problem, we hope, will be a problem of the past. It's come to increase staff engagement, because eventually we expect that our balance scorecard will be translated through the system. We'll have a performance management system in the system. We'll have ways to track your leave and other things. We'll have ways to alert us when your contract is coming to an end, so that you don't continue working and yet you are without contract just because we didn't pick it. So it has come to improve staff engagement. It has come to improve sustainability. Just imagine the amount of paper that we will get rid of just by installing the HMIS. Just imagine the amount of space that will open up, the reduced infrastructural investment from storage space. Think about the number of pens that we've been using to write. Think about the number of clips that we've been putting on paper. All those things will be a thing of the past. So it touches on all values. On the strategic pillars, again, I can talk about it over and over. So this man here, PhD, we had to look for a PhD to come and bring for us an HMIS. Those is PhD, HMIS, DR, BKKH, MCH. So the first question, Dr. Kamau, tell us about this HMIS. Just an introduction. If you ask by your grandmother, what is HMIS? What would you say?
Just to clarify, yesterday there was some PhD which were recalled. I want to confirm mine is not one of them. I'm from the University of Nairobi. I think all of us must have had some documentary which has been going on System TV. I don't know if you're through with the documentary about patient wait time. And one of the things that they are talking about, among other things that will be able to address that, is automation of processes within hospitals. And that tells you that we're in the right direction. The thing with the automation, it kind of condenses or reduces the manual processes into a few clicks of the button. And as such, HMIS is basically automation of all our processes and going paperless, so that we have workflow automation within the system, so that wherever we are having people moving with the files from one location to the other, becomes much easier because you just click submit, and then whatever you're doing, the amount of time that will taken to walk from the cashier to the lab is kind of reduced. So basically it's just improving efficiency and effectiveness, and also ensuring that all the data that's required, because best decision actually informed by quality data. So it's about quality decision making, efficiency in terms of execution of our duties, and generally also actually enhancing people's capability in terms of being able to interact with the technology. Because technology has become like a common tool across the globe.
So when will this happen? What day?
Yeah, on 8th of midnight of 8th, that's Thursday next week. Is next week? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll go like we're calling it pens down, and we'll have all things that are being done manually, especially for the clinical team, will be done on the system. So come 8th midnight, anything from that, from 12:01 going forward will be on the system online, so to speak.
So it will be like at 11:59, my eyes are open and people were writing. And then I close my eyes and I open at 12:01 and everything, it will be a dramatic shift. Is that the case?
Yes, it will be we call it a cutoff.
Yeah.
This is a cutoff. You see, on this, you close your eyes when somebody was writing on a physical file, and then you open up your eyes at 12:01, then you find that particular person seated behind a computer typing.
Yes. So we are confirming that one of the most important things is do not expect this transition where we will allow you to use paper when you wish and computer when you wish. It will be a cutoff. So you can confirm to me that you have told the procurement team that we have stopped buying paper, pens, files, all those things?
Yes, we are working in a way that I think Isaac can confirm with the distribution of those particular like files and papers that were used, especially in record and all that, have been stopped.
So that will be so dramatic. So could you tell us what this is and how you are preparing? Just in less than 5 minutes, because we don't have a lot of time, and I suspect that the assumption is that we have been communicating through the managers, through the champions, through various platforms, right? So this is just an overview. So just reassure us that yes, we will be prepared, or we are preparing for that day, and what you are doing about it.
Yeah, I think in terms of when it comes to automation, we usually have three elements that need to be taken care of with equal measure. That is the technology itself. When we talk technology, we're talking about the software and the hardware, and then we have the business process which are being automated, basically the normal process that we carry out, and then there is the people aspect, which is the most difficult thing, because these other two have got no feeling, perceptions, and attitude. Whenever you put a machine there, you'll be able to get it there. But a human being, if I tell you today, this is the way you are, tomorrow, depending on the moods and how you're feeling, you might give me different whatever. So the people aspect is the most difficult thing to deal with, and the one that, although they say we give equal measure to the three, the people aspect usually have a bigger kind of weight. Because you can have good technology, you have good processes, but if the people, you do not address the issue of people, then it becomes very difficult for you to be able to execute it. The people who run the system. And so what we've done, we've deliberately, the process has taken long. I think when I was being hired, one of the key things I was told is to make sure Kijabe would be paperless. And we started the journey in 2018 from PIP. And some of you, we've gone through other places. We've gone to Mutomo, we've eaten some food, and we've gone to other places checking. All that was meant to ensure that the people aspect has been addressed and people feel the ownership of the solution that we get into. So the reason we've gone slow is to ensure that we try to carry as many people and to have buy-in and people feeling, human beings, we are very funny. Usipoulizwa kitu na unajua, and then you feel like you are ignored. When the thing comes, you feel like you don't want to own it. So what happens is that to be able to increase ownership, we try to get in as much contribution, as much participation as it can be, and that kind of slows down the process. So we slowed down not because we wanted to, but because we wanted to have everybody on board. We've done the best we can. I think from even the confession of the consultant we had and the vendor, they're saying for all the places they've done the implementation of this system, which is almost 100 places, they say they've never seen a place where users and the staff are kind of being consulted almost in every decision and having an organized way of doing things. They were talking about like St. Mary's. St. Mary's is just come and broke. I think you know St. Mary's had a problem with ownership with some fathers and I think sisters claiming ownership and all that. So when the task was over, they were just called in and then implement the system. Actually, people were being told there's a system who work within the hospital, and they didn't know. So here we deliberately decided that we want to involve you because our success depends on your engagement and contribution towards the implementation. So we've done that. We've done end user training, which started in June 6th, ended up in July 12th. That was a classroom, and then after that we still continue with the training. This will continue even after go live. So you are very important, and this project cannot succeed without you. And that's why we open up various channels for communication. We have different groups. We try to, as much as we can, to be able to put in the hardware that's required. We know it's not sufficient, but for a start, we're saying we can be able to start with that. We're already working on that. Some of them will be distributed from today. Saying there are various groups. We have the strategy and communication group, including which constitutes the management, which meets every day for updates, and then we have the operationalization team, which is divided into two: the OPD being led by Chris, and the inpatient being led by Gladys. Those are the people who will be checking at what on the ground, they are the shop floor people who understand the process. The top management may not be able to grasp what happens on the ground. So those are the groups, and there's a lot of active communication that's going on. Today we are doing what we call departmental or unit testing, where we have a group of 6 teams organized by the operational team that will be carrying out the test, which basically we refer to it as a user acceptance test, to check whether all the critical functionality are available before we go live. And then we have departmental champions. I think the DG will be showing there are some reflectors those people will be wearing, so that when you see them, there's something written behind there asking me about HMIS. Not that they will be able to sort you out. And this will be on the go live date, on the midnight of 8th August. So those are people who we plan to empower them much more than the normal training, which is still going on. It's not going as we expected, because there's some functionality which are being done as we speak. And those are the people that we intend to be the first line support within the department. If you're missing a button, those are the people to call, and then if they are not able to solve, they can be able to escalate it. And then we're saying we engage this particular vendor, and when we go to look for a solution, all of you who join the group can attest to this, that we do not get a solution that will be able to fit our needs. So we look for the one that we can be able to model and work with the vendor towards modeling a solution that would fit Kijabe. And that's what informed the decision of engaging them for 2 years. So after go live, from 9th, we are counting 2 years to work together with them to model that particular solution that we are looking for. And that tells you that we may not have 100% of what you're looking for, but we'll have 100% of the critical functionality that it requires, enables us to be able to execute our duties. So we're saying we have the Nursing Resource Center has been converted to be the hub of all the operations, anything that you want, and We usually leave that place around, like yesterday we left at around 2 a.m. There's time that we'll be there 24 hours to ensure that we provide you with the necessary support. These are support ecosystem. You want to show it? There's an ecosystem you'll be able to have within the groups that we talked about. There are the people that will be able to talk to, and I think at some point we'll be able to distribute that to the all staff email, so that you're able to know who to talk to. We want to make sure that by the time we go live, if you have an issue that you want to be addressed, you want to address it almost immediately. And that requires that there's a coordinated way of how issues will be channeled. Anytime you're going live on a humongous project like this, the performance is expected to dip a bit. There will be people who will be, I think, I hear them being called wood pickers. When you open a machine, you're looking for any key on the keyboard. So there will be those people, but with the time we expect them to be able to pick up. So there will be a dip. You expect there will be a dip in performance, but that's supposed to, if everything is done well, it's supposed to take maybe 2 or 3 days, then you start picking up. So there will be that particular bit of, whenever there's a change, usually expect some shock waves a bit here and there. But we're saying this is a solution that we need to own, all of us. And I would dare say that we are bold enough. If you go globally, very few healthcare institutions have automated the inpatient bit, because the inpatient is very difficult to, because of the nature of the work. But we are bold enough to say that we're going to do it. If you ask the vendor right now, they are saying they've never been pushed the way we are pushing them, because every day we're almost having 5 or 6 meetings to ensure that this is done. And they're also excited because they're saying, if this works, then Kijabe will be like a kind of a showcase where people will be coming to check out how automation can be done. So we are counting on you, and we are believing and trusting. I know most of you are praying with us, and we can assure you that it will work. If you have little faith, know that there's somebody believing for you that it will be able to work.
Thank you very much. And to summarize, one thing that he said is that it is going to be dramatic, that we expect at 11:59 to be writing, but at the transition, it will not be one of those smooth transitions. That's why we are putting a lot of back-end investment. We are doing a lot of work so that one day can or must work. We have no alternative. Actually, Kamau tells you we have no backup plan. So it must work. So expect that dramatic change, and so we expect your full support. The other thing is expect some, we will win the war, but expect some battles that we will lose. Our patients' waiting time is likely to go up before it can go down. Our processes are likely to be a bit confusing before they can get better, because we will take time to learn and understand. But that is not reason to discredit the system. That we will take all those failures, that the strategic team, the operational team, the champions, everything will sit on a daily basis and ensure that these problems are resolved as they evolve, so that this system can work. So those are the 2 things I want to assure you. That one, we are putting a lot of resources in the back end. I know people are working, but he says he's been up till 2 a.m. And I'm like, welcome. That is actually how people in hospitals work. The people from admin are beginning to betray themselves. So that's one. But secondly, is that we will lose some battles. Patients will be disgruntled. You will be frustrated. Something will get lost somewhere. But that is not reason to discredit the system. Just look for the champion, look for Kamau, look for an SMT member, look for a manager, and the problem will be sorted. I assure you, come December or sometime after, when everything, we will be looking back and looking at how much we've learned and how much we have to improve. So please bear with us during this time. There will be inconveniences, but put all your effort, your heart, your soul, your mind, and your body into this one thing so that it can succeed. Thank you very much. That brings us to the end of the HMIS. The next thing I would like to talk about is this thing called customer satisfaction. Or I don't like that word, because satisfaction is just a simple piece of paper that you feel and you say how well I feel. But there's something called customer experience. And the experience cannot be written in paper. You know, it is like when somebody goes to, when you go to somebody's house and you are asked, was it clean? Yeah, you think it was clean. Was it well organized? Yes. Did they give you food? Yes. Did the host talk to you? Yes. That's not what we are talking about. We are talking about customer experience. And experience is something that you cannot even comprehend, you cannot put on a piece of paper, because it is about the total, one person talks about the stinkiness of a place, how it stinks, you know, or how it smells, or how, so everything, the total aura of that place. So today I would like to invite another manager, Salome. Unfortunately, she's not doctor or PhD, but I think she claims to know something about customer.
Morning, everyone.
So, introduce yourself first.
My name is Salome in Corporate Affairs.
So tell me, why is customer experience so important to an institution? Why is not any institution? Why is customer care, customer experience so important to Kijabe Hospital?
All right. Why customer experience is very important for us? It's because this is the only advertisement we do. If a patient is happy, they will not only tell their families, they will recommend us to somebody else and to somebody else. I give an example. We had a patient about 3 months ago. This week on Monday, he called all the way from Mombasa. He said, I have recommended 2 of my friends to come for urology services in your hospital. So our patients, when they are happy and they have had a very satisfactory experience, they will tell us about us to others. Yeah, that's why it's very important. It's our revenue driver. If we have more patients, it means we are growing. And so this is it's a lifeline for us.
Is there a substitute? Like, could I put billboards to look good? Could I, even PR, like just daily talk to the media houses about what good work they are doing, or paint our corridors? Is there a substitute to a good customer experience?
There's no substitute to good customer experiences. I was sharing with the managers the other day, and I said research has been done, PwC Global Insights, this year in 2019. They have said 63% of the people they asked, this is a total of a pool, about 20,000 people, they asked about what they consider to be a push for them in terms of using a product or a service. And they said 63% say they would prefer a positive experience than an ad. And at the moment, we have 2 beautiful billboards in Nairobi. There's one at Museum Hill, and there's one in Pangani. But nothing can equate that billboard to what a patient experiences when they're here.
Now, tell me, what is this jargon?
All right, so what we have on this slide is the number of patients who have taken time to write about their experience while they were here. If you look at the very first one, we had January 2018 and January 2019. So one of the things we have noticed is there's an increased number of patients' written feedback. And so we want to thank you so much for encouraging our patients to tell us about their experience while they're with us. In January 2018, we had 37 people only write and tell us what it meant. And then in January 2019, we have 150 plus 131 plus 0. That is a total of 281. So thank you so much for encouraging our patients to write. And you can see on and on. So the blue bar is about patients who are happy with us. So the blue says we are very happy. Some of them is actually prayers. I was telling the managers, Some of them, you actually, when you read, you want to cry because they say, God bless you, may He protect your family, may you do well, may you prosper in the land. You know those good things they say. So the blue are actual prayers and wonderful things people are saying about us. But then the red ones are really like, red. Emergency, there are things we need to take care of. Some of them are simple things, like, a tap that's leaking. We can do that, yeah? We can make sure a tap is not leaking. And there's one, they have said there's a door that the hinges of a door are not oiled. Surely we can we can oil the hinges of doors, yeah? But then there are others who say they came to Kijabe, it was their first experience, and they say they're not coming back. Why? Because you're not welcoming. Some say you are rude. And this rudeness, some of it is like, something you said, it wasn't quite what was implied that.
I'll interrupt because we talk about rudeness. So, is there a hope? Is there a hoping of dropping the reds down? And are there successful stories that have, where we had negative customer experiences?
Yes.
That have since disappeared in various departments?
Okay. One of the reds that has disappeared, in 2018, we had quite a couple of feedback about our catering services. People said, food is cold, it's not balanced, it's not appealing. There were quite a number in 2018. In 2019, we don't have as many in terms of catering feedback. The other one that has really dropped is lab. People would say we hate Kijabe because of lab, eh? You guys keep us waiting 4 hours, 5 hours, and then that in 2019 has greatly reduced. So we don't have a lot of lab concerns, and I believe like this. So thumbs up to catering and to lab team.
Thank you. Now let's go to the next slide, and I would like to invite, where is Susan and Livo? By the way, are there positive brand ambassadors? Are there people who are...
Oh yeah, we have great brand ambassadors. By the way, when we began the church visits at the beginning of this year, we go to different congregations and you meet people who have used our services over the years. Let me tell you, some of them want just to hug you because they say Kijabe is the best place. Please say hi to Dr. X or Dr. Y. And so we have people who they actually remember names and they send us with your greetings, but we are sorry we haven't delivered the greetings.
Now, tell me what the problem, why would we make a fuss about rudeness? I mean, there are many things. There is they complain about the hinges, they complain about our walls that look, I don't know, ugly and dusty. They complain about our long waiting times. But why would we want to make rudeness? It's almost like the biggest thorn in our flesh.
Wow. One of the most unique identifying thing for us is that we are always associated with the mission. Everyone calls us Kijabe mission. Is that so? Yes. Even when we do a press release or we talk to the media, we tell them we are AIC Kijabe Hospital, they will still say Kijabe Mission Hospital. So there is an element of us being associated with Christ. And I think as as Christ ambassadors, we cannot be associated with rudeness. And then importantly, one of our greatest core value is compassion. Is there anything close to compassion with rudeness? I think so.
Thank you. Now, you went to the Christ part, but I want the guy, the authority in Christ, to address that issue. People, tell us about, is it, I don't know whether to call it an oxymoron, to put compassion as your core value, faith-based hospital, Christ everywhere in our paintings, and then rudeness. What do you have to say about that?
Thank you for hijacking me. But I think probably sometimes, let me just go back a little. Sometimes we forget about who we are. That Kijabe Hospital, as Salome has said, being a mission hospital, we are about the healing ministry of Jesus Christ, the training ministry of Jesus Christ, or the teaching ministry, and also the preaching ministry. And therefore, when we talk about being ambassadors of Jesus Christ, we realize that we represent him. I've always said that, and I repeat, that Jesus Christ walked on this earth with a physical body, but now he uses a spiritual body, which is you and me. And so if I'm representing Jesus Christ, then there is no way we can be talking about compassion like Christ, and then I myself, who is representing him, is being a labeled rude.
Now, that is the soft part. That's why we put spiritual in HR, people and culture. Now let's hear about what does the implication of somebody who is said and shown to be rude. What is the implication in terms of HR?
In terms of HR, it means disciplinary action. And I had said this before, sometimes there's a misconception about disciplinary action, that it's aimed to punish, but actually it's aimed to correct a behavior so that we eliminate the behavior that we do not want. But sometimes it happens that if we are not able to correct this behavior, what do we do? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Nan is a professor, but seated there. But asanteni sana. I think the gist, next slide. The gist of it is this coming, actually, let's say, because we've already started the third quarter, we are going to focus on two things. One is HMIS. HMIS is a product, is a service that must happen, a product and a service. And so we will require your total effort in delivering that thing that we have so looked. I think it is something that we began talking about even when I came in. So this is a culmination. We are about, and it's also about accountability, that we say what we do and we actually do it. The second thing is about customer experience. It's unfortunate that we have to focus on something called rudeness, but we will. And we will use our total effort again to eradicate it. Believe you me, our rudeness rate, despite better culture, better what is going up. I wish Salome could show you the graphs. It is not getting any better. And that is an indication that at the end of it, all these things that we are doing, culture change, introducing good things, is not translating to the patient if we cannot get rid of rudeness. And so we will deal with rudeness on a case-by-case basis. Our aim is a zero tolerance for rudeness. That means by the end of the year, we want to look back at this half of the year and see that we had zero rude customer experience, customer-related experience. Sawa. So we shall be rolling out activities to do that, so that, rudeness is intolerant. It is, sorry to put it this way, rudeness is primitive. Okay? It is primitive. And so we must have zero tolerance. Please, when you are caught rudeness, and a patient has said rudeness, that he was rude, you better be ready to explain. And that is the part that is about accountability on your perspective. By the way, patients have also said that that person was not rude to me, but I was not happy with how they were to each other. They were rude to each other. So that's also another aspect that we should be looking at. So please, rudeness must be annihilated. Now, but let's talk about this. This number is very good. You know, this is 48 activities are what we set out to do this year. And so far, 44 of them are within course, they will be, it seems like they will be delivered or have already been delivered in the strategic plan. That is a 92% pass rate for us. Do you remember what it was last year? It was stood at 48%. So this is a tremendous achievement. Everyone deserves a clap. Now, next. Now, as always, it comes down to, even as we delivered the 92% pass rate, there are those of us who have been outstanding, that you guys have talked about. I would like to just name employee of the quarter, the 10 best candidates who, of all the many people who are nominated. First of all, of the 1,070, a group of people were nominated for that position. So kudos to everyone who was nominated. And then of that, a committee sat and came up with 10 names. So those 10 of the best amongst the 1,070. I shall mention them before we home down on one who is the employee of the quarter amongst those. So the people I will name don't need to come in front. You can just stand where you are, and we can applaud each one. So number 1 is Alice Njunge. Number 2 is Lucy Njihia. Lucy Njihia can stand. Number 3 is Daniel Bugwa. Daniel. There's no Daniel. Number 4 is Shadrach Wamalwa. Number 5 is Penina Kivindu. Number 6 is Lois Mwindi. Number 7 is Evans Mwangi. Number 8 is David Maina. Number 9 is Mary Gitau. Number 10 is Cecilia Wairimu from Nairobi Clinic. She's not here. Now, as always, there can only be, you may sit down. As always, there can only be one. Unfortunately, we would have loved to acknowledge all for this position, but it is only one that can be. And so let me talk a little about this person. She is said to be very, very passionate. Unfortunately, when you start with she, it's already come already. This person, in her ordinariness, I'm told when you see her, she's just going on about her business, but she's very inspiring because her work has led to a tangible. Number 1, we had a very high rate of hypernatremic dehydration in the hospital some years ago. And we have done publications showing that how it can be dropped down, mitigated. It is because of the diligent efforts of this person. This person has worked with us for over 23 years. 23 years. When we asked her, what 23 years? She said, by the way, my friends have tried to woo me into other sectors, to other hospitals. But I just love Kijabe. And the way she said it, I mean, even, I don't know, people call me Stone Cold, my heart. But even I was moved. I had goosebumps. She is very passionate with her work. After guiding the mothers on lactation, she continues to give health messages to all mothers. After that, she assists other staff, especially going for babies in OR. She is always and very punctual to work. When she used to live within, she was always available to fill in gaps. I will say she has demonstrated compassion in her work. Please join me in welcoming Lucy Njihia.
joy. It's only in maternity where mothers cry tears of joy. When after having gone through the birth process, they then see their babies and they cry. But down inside their heart, they are laughing. But you can see tears, but they are tears of joy. And I will continue working there.
It's yours. You can bring it back for the next quarter. The next person I would like to acknowledge, because of his impact, his subtle impact in the entire hospital. When we started this culture change process, we had to pick a group of people called change champions. And of the change champions, we had to pick somebody called, somebody who would go into a smaller group called the steering committee. Okay? This man has been instrumental. This man has been instrumental. He calls himself like he's the exterminator of resistance. He has been instrumental in a lot of the change that you've seen in the back end. I think the change steering committee will tell you this. This man is vocal, he's powerful, but he also has a direction and focus. The irony of it is that his sphere of influence goes far beyond his department. Oh, this man is George Otieno. So, people are in coast on the beach while we are here. Oh, you are trying to whisper. No, it's in Mombasa. Enjoy. So, thank you so much to George. He's been instrumental. Please, can the change steering committee stand up? People who have been involved in the steering committee. There are only 2, 3. Okay, there are many more. But Kamau will tell you they've been instrumental in ensuring even the HMIS comes to what it is. They've been instrumental, that values book that we now enjoy and look back and talk about professionalism, compassion, and other things. This is the team that is in charge. And they are, imagine, this team is focused, charged, and energetic. But amongst them, there is a character who stands up, and that is George Otieno. So, asante sana. I know even you've been instrumental because it takes a lot of energy. I know this guy, when he comes home, he's drained, he's tired, and but thank you for, even for the family, for the support. Now, I would also like to acknowledge teams that have been outstanding this quarter. And one thing we have insisted is that the outstandingness or the outstanding nature of it must be visible. It is not about how happy we are. Happiness is not measurable. It is about your happiness has translated to an impact that is visible. This time, because we want to focus on customer experience, the customer is king. And when customer tells us something, then we must be doing good. I want to award 2 teams as the team of the year. Award their gifts are not here because it will be something that they will be given to, like a team activity to go out. But I would like to acknowledge, and I want, if the managers are here and the team members are here, to come in front so that we can applaud them. The first team is the lab team. The lab team, if you look at the 2 graphs or the bar graphs, last year and this year, dramatic difference. They have gone from one of the highest negative reviews to no. You know, that is why I'm telling you it is possible. To zero negative customer review. They were always there as a, that ISO thing that, oh, slow, they are slow. And then one day you wake up and it is as dramatic as we want for the HMIS. No negative review. So for that, congratulations to the lab team. The second team, again, based on customer, what the customer is talking about, is the catering team. This team has been tremendous. I remember, in fact, when there was a time when they changed steering committee, it was the hot topic. I know the steering committee doesn't think I get that information, but this was the hot topic on a daily, it was the daily theme. Catering this, catering that, catering this, catering that. And if you look at this here, again, dramatic. And if you want to link customer experience to revenue, this is the best example. They started with 1.9, they went 1.8 January, 1.9, 2.1, 2.2, 2.3. You understand? Customer experience translates to sustainability. Customer experience is an account of accountability. Customer experience leads to better staff engagement. And it is the highest act of compassion. So, asanteni sana. We shall see you in the office with your teams to get your goodies. And with that, I apologize for taking a long time, but we had, first of all, I came late, we had a small technical hitch. But secondly, because as you have seen, we had two very things that we must talk about, we must address. Thank you so much for you who's continue to help us deliver on what we are, our mandate, our core mandate. It's being Christ-like, propagating the ministry, and that's why we do all this. Asanteni sana, see you next quarter.